What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast. Week 17, picks against the spread. I am your host, as always, Alex Cuesta. Normally with me, Wally, the Million Lira Man, again, cannot be with us this week, but as always, I have his picks. I'm going to do a super truncated version of this because doing it super late, a little bit less than an hour to go before the 1 o'clock game. So here we go. I'm just going to run through it, do what I normally do. Going to give you our results from last week. I am going to then give you our big games, our picks, and hopefully get this out before the 1 o'clock game starts so you guys can go out and place your bets. Going to start off from last week, week 16, with Wally. Wally had Vikings at Lions, Lions plus 5.5. He didn't get that as the Vikings dominated 27-9. He had Texans plus 2.5 against the Eagles. He hit on that as the Eagles only won by a score 32-30. The Texans covered by 0.5. Then he had Bears minus 4 against the Niners, covered right there, 14-9 win for the Bears, giving Wally a 2-1 week, and now that raises his record to 25-23-2. And we'll go on to my games last week. I had Baltimore plus 4.5 against the Chargers. Hit on that as Baltimore got the win 22-10. Washington plus 10 against Tennessee. I took a nice chance there. Washington covered by a single point, only losing 25-16. And then I also had Houston plus 2.5 against Philly. Again, Philly only wins 32-30. They covered by half a point. And then I had my Jets pick. I had the Jets plus 2.5 against Green Bay coming in. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be denied. A few nice calls helped the Packers win in overtime, 44-38. So my Jets did not cover despite playing well. But I had a good week, going 3-1. Raised my record to 28-34-1. It looks unlikely I'm going to get to 500 even after the Super Bowl, but I had a nice comeback from an abysmal start. All right, jumping right into Week 17 again. Like I said, sorry about the rush. This one's truncated because I'm doing it nice and late. Week 17 is a weird week in the NFL every single year. Who's in already? Who's out already? Who's starting players? Who isn't starting players? Who's trying to get home field? Who isn't trying to just get into the playoffs? It's a very weird week of who's trying to do what. So the spreads are always really weird. And it's always a tough week to pick because there's a lot of late inactives. There's so many things going on. One of the biggest things is bad teams trying to play spoiler, which is my Jets, which is what they're trying to do this week, trying to spoil Patriots from getting one of the top 2 seeds. But we're going to go through Wally's picks first, and then from there, well, actually, we'll go to my picks first this time around because we always do Wally's picks first. So let's switch it up a little bit this week. All right, first, my picks. I have we'll go big games first, actually. Let me not go out of order. Big games this week. I have the Bears at 10-4 traveling to the Vikings at 8-6-1. This is a classic one of those games where the Bears are already in and the Vikings are kind of in a win-and-in situation. So what are the Bears going to do? Who are they going to play? Who's going to show up? It's a really weird situation where also if the Vikings do win, I believe we see the Bears and Vikings in the wild card next week. So it's a weird situation where years ago my Jets did this where they basically, as people like to say, they backed into the playoffs by defeating the Bengals in a week where the Bengals sat everyone, but it came to bite the Bengals in the ass because the Jets came in that following week in the wild card round and actually beat up on the Bengals. So it could go to backfire by resting your guys the way that they did. So that's a big game right there. It's Vikings minus 5.5. I'd probably go with the Vikings this game because they have a lot more to play for. So that's where I would go there. Next big game, Browns sitting at 7-7-1, a really respectable season led by Baker Mayfield, traveling to the Ravens, who are in a win-and-in situation as well, sitting at 9-6, having completely locked up that division where the Steelers are still breathing down their neck. But with a win, they will clinch the division. They are minus 6.5 there. They run the football well, but I actually like the Browns to cover here because I just think the Browns are that gritty team, and they would like nothing more than to play spoiler. This is a spoiler game for them to the Ravens and their hopes. So I would go Browns there with the plus 6.5. I think the Browns are a much improved team. I picked them for a wild card this year. It obviously didn't work out that way, but it was a good pick. Good season for them, and I would pick the Browns plus 6.5 there. And the final big game is probably the biggest and most important game of the week in terms of winner is in, period. They are the wild card representative, and that is the Colts sitting at 9-6 against the Titans sitting at 9-6. And it's the Colts favored -3 there, which I don't know. This is a weird game. I sure as hell wouldn't bet this game at all. The Titans control the clock. They run the ball really well. The Colts defense is much improved than it has been in the past. The Colts are actually really good team. It's weird. It's weird with them sitting at -3. I don't know if that's a good bet right there. If I had to bet, I would pick the Colts to cover that one, even though they are traveling to Tennessee. But it's a really tough game to bet, and it's a game that I would 100% avoid. All right, so we are going to move on to my picks of the week. I have my locks. I have the Jags at Texans. The Texans are sitting at -7. Let me check. I'm looking at the updated from actually today. They're still at -7. I like the Texans at -7 here. I think the Jaguars have lost their identity of defense and run the ball hard. And I just think the Texans are going to go in. They know they need to win to make sure that they win the division. Their division isn't locked up with the Colts and Titans. If they win the division, and they at least can host one home game, and they have a chance of still getting the second seed, so they have a lot to play for. I think they win that with the -7. Next game I have as a lock is Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs are -14. I like the Chiefs -14 there. The Raiders have very little to play for. John Gruden is looking forward to the offseason to make his picks. He has a lot of first-round picks. He's looking ahead of this game, and I think the Chiefs are just going to steamroll the Raiders completely. And then the final game that I have, me and Wally differ on this one. The Eagles at the Redskins. Eagles are favored by 6.5 points. I like that for the Eagles. I'm slowly but surely growing a respect for the Eagles and Nick Foles. And I think that he's going to do enough to at least put them in position to make the playoffs at 9-7. I don't think they're going to get in. They have to have a lot go right for them. But I like the Eagles -6.5, and that's a perfect segue into Wally's picks. Wally likes the Skins +6.5. It's just a battle of, can Josh Johnson and those Skins control the clock? They have a good defense. And can they catch the Eagles with their pants down feeling good about themselves? So he likes the Skins +6.5. Next game he likes the under in the Bengals-Steelers game. It's sitting at 45 points right now. He likes the under there. Both of those teams, especially the Bengals, besides Joe Mixon, they are hapless. Hapless? Helpless? I don't know. But they are not a good team. They don't play very well. And the Steelers are kind of out right now, and I don't know if they care. They're sitting on the outside looking in. The Ravens shouldn't lose their game. And I feel like they're kind of in a situation where they don't care. So as good of a season as guys like Juju Smith-Schuster have had, and the surprises in Connor and even Big Ben having a solid year, I think the Steelers probably don't score a lot of points. The under 45 is good there. And the final game that Wally has, he has the Titans +4.5 defending home turf against the Colts. I said Colts are -3, updated their -4.5. But he has the Titans there defending home turf, keeping this game close, and covering with +4.5. So I have to give my one last pick, my Jets pick, which I give every week. Jets are, let's see the updated. I have them at +13.5 here. I did these last night. Let's see the updated. I think it's they'd be +14 now. They actually gave them a half point more, the Patriots. I like the Jets to cover here. The Patriots have a lot to play for. They want to get the second seed. They're hoping that the Texans stumble. But I just think the Jets have been playing with a lot of confidence. Sam Darnold has been throwing the ball very well since Week 11, especially since coming back from his injury the past 3 games. And that defense has something to play for. Anderson, the guy from Indy, right on the D end, he's having a very nice year in terms of rushing the passer. He looks to hit Tom Brady. Jamal Adams wants to have another nice game. He's going to be covering Gronkowski a lot. He has a lot of pride there. I just like the Jets to cover this plus 14, and I hope they get an upset. All right, so I know that was quick. I know that was a lot coming at you really, really fast, but let me just give you the final rundown. Wally's games, he likes the Redskins plus 6.5. He likes the under in the Bengals-Steelers game, under 45, and he likes the Titans plus 4.5 against the Colts. I like the Texans minus 7 against the Jags, Chiefs minus 14 against the Raiders, Eagles minus 6.5 against the Skins, and I like the Jets plus 14 against the Patriots. Everyone, thank you for listening. Happy New Year's to everyone. I'm Alex Cuesta. Twitter and Instagram @_Cuesta30. Sports Opinions, Twitter @SportsOpinion30. Instagram SportsOpinions30. Visit Facebook. Listen anywhere you can. Million Lira Man, Wally will be back with us at some point soon. We're going to do the playoffs. We're going to give you our bets there as well. He's @Million Lira Man on Twitter and on Instagram. Go look out for all of his packages. He's always running specials, and he's a winner, and he's going to win you money. So continue to look out for that. Again, everyone, I hope you had a great Christmas. Have a very happy New Year. Happy betting, happy gambling, happy football. Everyone, have a good one.